Now this next one's an important one. You can see that when the ball hits the floor, nothing happens, and we need to make it so that the game is over whenever the ball hits the floor. I'm going to stop this. What we're going to do is we're going to put another sprite at the very bottom right there, and whenever the ball touches that bottom sprite, something else is going to happen. So I am going to add a third sprite. This one, I'm going to paint myself. So I go over here to paint, and all I need is a bar that will cover the entire bottom of the screen. So if I take this bar that I just created, put it down here at the very bottom of the screen, what's going to happen is that whenever the ball is touching the bottom, we're going to flip to game over. So you can see that I just added a sprite. I named it bottom. I put it right here on the very bottom. You can barely see it. Maybe I'll make it red just so you guys can see it better. Yours probably shouldn't be red. But down here at the bottom, there is a red bar. Great. So now we need to have the ball sense whenever it is touching the bottom. How do we do that? It's the same as what we did before. We need to go to the basketball, and it's going to be another if-then loop. So let's go over to control. We're going to find another if-then. If, under sensing, we are going to be, we're touching the bottom, and I forgot to say it, but I renamed this really quickly to the word bottom right here. So if touching the bottom, what we need to do is have it flip to a game over screen. So we're going to need a second backdrop. The whole background needs to change. Well, I'm going to have to make my own. So I'll go up here to paint, and this new backdrop, all it's going to do is say game over. Game over. And obviously we can change that to a color that's easy to read. Make it larger. And what's going to happen next is here in the basketball code, if you're touching the bottom, under looks, we are going to switch the backdrop. Now, it might be easier for me to go over here to backdrops and make sure I rename this to give it a name that's something that makes sense. So let's call this game over. Great. So we have the neon tunnel backdrop. We have the game over backdrop. Backdrop 1 was just our default. I can delete it. Great. So let's go back to the basketball code. So whenever I'm touching the bottom, I want to switch backdrop to game over. Great. Let's give it a test. Ball will bounce, but if I miss, the ball hits this, and it says game over. Now you'll see that the ball is still visible, and we probably want to hide that. Well, the way to do that would simply be in the basketball code here, the same time that it switches to game over, you have it say, you have it hide the ball. There it goes. So it touched the backdrop called bottom. It switched this to the game over. However, when I click this little thing, I'm not getting a new game anymore. In the next video, we will be showing you how to add that restart button so we can start the game all the way over.